Okay, first video of today. I've been working a lot on doing a lot of research and watching some of the TV programs too. You know, it seems like everyone is just going off about Trump and Putin yesterday. And Trump, I guess he didn't say what everyone wanted him to say, you know, or that he was kinder to Putin than people thought, or, you know, I'm not sure how it's supposed to work, but you know, one of the things that I wanted to mention that I think is very, very interesting, and I think everyone should keep in mind, is back when Robert Mueller first indicted the 3 companies and the 13 other Russians several months ago, we were in court for the 3 companies. One of the things that happened was one of the companies did not exist, and we talked about this yesterday on camera, but it was a catering company, and a representative that knew the catering company was there, and he said basically to Robert Mueller's team, Jeannie Ray, how are you indicting a company that did not exist during the time that you indicted them? And it was kind of funny because the lawyer said you literally are indicting a ham sandwich, which is an old joke in courts that a grand jury can literally indict a ham sandwich. And it was a catering company that makes ham sandwiches. So that was kind of funny. Also, the 13 people that were indicted, the names that were listed, prior to the court hearing, I had found many of those 13 people living in the United States, living large, owning homes all over the United States. So I kind of wondered, how are you indicting people and why aren't they in court? I mean, you had Mike Flynn in court, you've got Paul Manafort in solitary confinement, you've got ankle bracelets on everybody and their mother. Why are these 13 people running around? So when the document was released, or the indictment was released so hurriedly, I believe it was on Thursday, then I started to wonder, well, the first thing I wondered was, it's interesting they would do it as Trump was out of town the day after the Strokes hearing went so horribly, and Trump was on his way to meet Putin. It sounded so rushed. So when the documents came out, one of the first things I read was a report by Thomas Paine of True Pundit that the words inside the document, inside the indictment, were an exact match for another document. And that was a civil lawsuit filed by a civil journalist, or a journalist in a civil court against the Iwans, W. Washington Schultz, FBI brass, DOJ brass, all the who's who of what's going on now. And it was this person who is not a lawyer that wrote up this document to sue the Iwans. I know about this because I personally served Imran Iwan, and that's on my channel with that document. And so if you look at the language, it's literally, parts of it are literally plagiarized, word for word. So we thought that was pretty amazing that a special counsel that has $18 million and 400 and something lawyers, or how many lawyers they have, all the, you know, everything at their fingertips, would actually partially plagiarize a document written by a, you know, citizen journalist. After we put that information out, curiously enough, the paragraphs that were plagiarisms suddenly disappeared from the indictment document. So I thought that was really interesting. And then I took all the names of the indicted parties, all those Russian names, and I checked each and every one of them, and I think except for one maybe, I'll have to look, but I have found every single one of them, very much like the 13 others. Do they live in Russia? No. Do they own houses and cars and businesses and families and all that kind of stuff, possibly in the United States? Yes. Why were they not in court for the indictment? Why do they not have ankle bracelets on? Why are they considered these Russian operatives of the military, Russia's military, and KGB or FSU, you know, Vlad's great friends that, you know, they make it act like he's having dinner with every night, when they're over here in the United States of America and have been for years, some of them decades. So I think that's very interesting. Sometimes I think maybe the, you know, special counsel or DOJ or whoever doesn't give the American people credit enough for taking the time and patience to look up some of these names that, you know, they're obviously very hard to to say and pronounce, and it's hard work, but there's a lot of us out here that actually do. And we have the documents now in our possession. So I'm going to be very curious. Are they going to go drive around or fly around the United States of America and scoop these Russians up from their various businesses for interfering in the United States election? And I keep hearing on the TV with the Congress, them talking about, are they going to extradite these 12 Russians? Extradite them from where? They're in the United States of America. Somebody should look them up. If I can do it, and I have no access to classified databases, then surely people that have access to classified databases can look them up. So I would encourage people in Congress to actually do that. Or maybe I'll have to do like I did before, and I'll create dossiers on each of them. These will be true dossiers, though, of where they really live and the cars and homes they own and people they're associated with, and put them all in little packets and arrange them and put tabs on them with their little names, their birth dates, a little picture. And then I'll go around Congress and hand them out to the various people to let them know how very easy it is to find these people and question them.